Good morning, children of grace. It's wonderful to be with you today, as always. We are going to sing and play the song, He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. If you've been watching my videos, then you might remember that we did this song together in August for Ukulele Month. So, what we're going to do today is include some ukulele review along with the lyrics and chords if you're wanting to play along with your ukulele. And today I'm also going to teach the moves so that if you would rather sing and do the moves, then you can do that too. So first we'll do the ukulele review, then I'll teach the moves, and at the end we'll put it all together. Here we go. Now you have G, and then second string down C, third string down E, fourth string down A. Today I've already tuned my ukulele, but if you haven't, you should definitely take a minute to do that. We learned the C chord, which I take my left hand to hold the strings. If my fingers are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to take finger 4 on my bottom string, the A string, and I'm going to put it on the 3rd fret, and that gives me a C chord. Hooray! And then the other chord that we learned was a G chord, and I need 3 fingers for that chord. So I place fingers 1 and 2 on the 2nd fret on my 2nd and 4th strings on my C string and my A string, and then I take my 3rd finger and place it on the 3rd fret on my 3rd string down, and that is my E string, and that gives me a G chord. All right, so now let's learn the moves. Some of you might remember this from doing this in person, but that's been a long time ago. So these moves are actually in American Sign Language, so that's kind of neat. All right, so for the first verse, he got, so we point up, he's got. Then you're going to take your 2 hands, one in front of the other. You can put your top hand turning out and circle around for whole. And then you can make 2 W's with your hand and circle the top one around for world. Okay, so far that's he's got the whole world. All right, then in is here, one hand inside the other, in his, and then hands, I'm going to cross my hands like an X. So that was, he's got the whole world in his hands. And we do that so many times over and over. He's got the whole world in his hands. So that's the first verse, and we're actually going to sing it again at the very end. All right, so the second verse is, he's got the itty bitty babies in his hands. He's got the itty bitty babies in his hands. He's got the itty bitty babies in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Third verse. So this is the mommies and the daddies. So for these, I'm going to be taking my hand with 5 fingers, and for mommies, I'm going to tap my chin twice, and the daddies is my forehead twice. So we're going to go, he's got the mommies and the daddies in his hands. He's got the mommies and the daddies in his hands. He's got the mommies and the daddies in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. And then our fourth verse is, he's got my brothers and my sisters. So for brothers and sisters, we're going to make 2 L's with our hands. for brothers, I'm going to take one L to my forehead, and then I'm going to move it down to my other hand. And then for sisters, I'm going to do the same thing, but my hand is going to be at my chin, like this. Sisters. Okay, so that's, he's got my brothers and my sisters in his hands. He's got my brothers and my sisters in his hands. He's got my brothers, oops, I did it backwards. Brothers and my sisters in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. And then we repeat the first verse. All right, let's give it a try. Here we go. He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 He's got the little bitty babies in his hands. He's got the little bitty babies in his hands. He's got the little bitty babies in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the mommies and the daddies in his hands. He's got the mommies and the daddies in his hands. He's got the mommies and the daddies in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got my brothers and my sisters in his hands. He's got my brothers and my sisters in his hands. He's got my brothers and my sisters in his hands. He's got the whole world 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 in his hands. Yay! Awesome job! I had so much fun singing, playing, and moving. I hope you had a blast as well. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye!